Hello everyone, good morning.
Hello everyone, good morning.
Welcome to another live trading session, Tuesday. And as I already used your, I don't know, as you are already used, um, today we're going to look at macro plans on monthly time frame and weekly time frame. And also we're going to try to frame some setups on lower time frame. Good morning. Hello everyone. So, usually what I'm doing is actually giving a bit more time, like 5 minutes or 3 minutes, for people to have the necessary time to join before we can actually get into the technicals. Seems like our long from 51.7, it's going nice on Hyperliquid. It's a setup which I mentioned last week. Yeah, now I saw everyone taking along. Not a bad idea, but I did mention about this. I mentioned about this long here as a take profit from my shorts, and as you can see, it went absolutely perfect. We had some unfinished business at this 51.7 level, and it's going nicely. It's the only trade that I took last 48 hours, to put it like that. I didn't went with too much risk on this one, and I used the wider stop loss because it's an NFT week, and last week it was so profitable. It was insanely profitable, making about 5% in one week, and that's not bad. And I don't want to be greedy with NFP on the table. Uh, all right, I see that people are already gathering. I know it's summertime, most people are out, vacations, traveling, and so on. But keep in mind that if you want to be a trader, indeed you take the vacations, but it's not what you see on media. Like you sit with the laptop on the pool and stuff like that. Yeah, indeed, the plans. Actually, I would have said it the other way around. So you cannot do the plans, you cannot focus on proper execution, and you cannot do proper setups and technicals when you are distracted. So it's really important to be really focused on what you're doing in that specific point in time. And after you did a plan, indeed, maybe you're driving, or let's say something else, you receive the alarm, and you remember, well, I made a plan that I will take a long around here or a short here at the Monday high. And yeah, you can take the short and just put a wider stop loss, let's say, and then you continue the way. But yeah, that's another story. Okay, so what's my plan for a low time frame? It's to short. I'm still looking for shorts here. You can see we had an attempt to get into the premium area. I'm still biased towards taking the shorts. I did mention yesterday, if you remember, I said the highest probability play will come Tuesday after the Monday candle it's on the table. There you go. We have a pretty good setup. Let's say that it took the stop loss like this, and that was a really good play. Yeah. Um, the basic plan here would be a TP1 in this area here, candle body low. There you go. So I do think we'll get a retest of 62,000.8 from this rejection, so we should go lower. And here maybe we can see we have a 1 hour W unretested, but the problem that I have with the W is that we have equal lows. I'm not a big fan of putting my stop loss having my stop loss at the equal lows. It's something that you don't want to do, or I don't want to do. It's up to anyone else what you guys want to do. By the way, before getting into higher time frame and making the plans, I would appreciate if you manage to go to the link, like and retweet, and leave a comment. It helps a lot with the algo. Or shouldn't be nice? I should say go and retweet, or we close the stream. I don't know, maybe. But it matters a lot. So if you appreciate the quality of the analysis and the setups that I highlight, take 30 seconds from your life now. Go like, retweet, and comment if you haven't. You can say good morning, you can say whatever. The algo will help, will do its job. All right, so coffee is here, water is here. What do we have? So, basic stuff for intraday trader. We had the Monday high, which I mentioned yesterday. I repeat myself, sorry. I mentioned yesterday that if Tuesday we swing failure the Monday high, then it's a setup and you should take the short. There you go. Perfect example on why you should follow the plan. Now TP1 should be around here, 62.88. TP1 and TP2 should be at the previous week low, Monday low. This is the area where I would look for a potential long. I will play the range, whatever market gives me, I will trade, and I will look for something like this. Maybe I get a 2 to 1, even though we are in a downtrend channel here. Man, we had quite some setups played out already. This is Bybit. Let's go on Binance. Yeah. Okay, let's start with the monthly, because I had a lot of questions about my overview. Is the bottom in, and so on. So what do I see here is the fact that we have, as in the previous bear market, let's say, we have bearish monthly fair value gaps. These bearish monthly fair value gaps, they act like resistance. Whenever the market is tapping that monthly fair value gap, it will reject until the point where the bottom is in, which in my opinion, and not in my opinion because it's not an opinion, I should change the wording, it's my plan. In my plan, the bottom is not in. I don't see any golden pocket retracement. And by the way, I saw lots of wrong. I saw someone measuring from here. I saw someone measuring from here. Yeah, that's for something else. This is for continuation. But you cannot continue a structure that was broken here. We have a confirmed bearish market structure shift here. So if you want to see the OT, yeah, the long reload zone of this move, you take the pivot low, which created the new high. All right. So I don't know, but people should start learning before posting. You can also take the main pivot low, but that would coincide. That would be for something else, for higher time frame, like 12 months, and I have to go on the index, not to stay on Binance. Okay, whatever. So what I want to highlight here, we closed below previous all-time high. Boom. This is resistance now. So any attempt to tap 67 to 70,000, for me, it's a big swing short opportunity. Simple like that. Is looking bad on the monthly time frame. We displaced the previous support. So here we had support for 3 months. Here, with this June candle, we displaced the support and we transformed the support into resistance. As you can see with a clear eye, you don't need any other information. So what I'm trying to put here is create context, and I wanted to help you understand what's going on. Also, if you look previously, we had resistance of the previous cycle. So this was a big previous area of support, which now has been flipped into resistance. Therefore, any attempt to break that area, I will short. There is no breakout here. We're in not in an uptrend, we are in a violent, impulsive downtrend with corrective moves. So, what I'm expecting now is the following on a high time frame. If I get an attempt, I will swing short around here. Then on a lower time frame, on a daily time frame, if I get a swing failure of 59,000, I will attempt a SFP long. Yeah, meaning that the price can AMD, manipulate the lows, get back inside the range, and then play the long. But that's another story. That's for daily to weekly. I will show you later on. Now on a monthly, what I'm expecting for the market to sweep at least this pivot low here at 49,000. So that's a pretty important area for me. Also, look at how the bottoms and where the bottoms took place. Inside a big displacement. Yeah, we had a big displacement here. It's exactly like this. Yeah, exactly the same area. So the bottom took place inside that specific displacement. So I do think that we have exactly the same pattern playing out. Add that with the proper fib levels, and for me that's it. Now let's go on a weekly time frame. Definitely is not looking great on the weekly. And what I want to say, I think we are close to a pivot level. I mentioned this so many times: impulsive, corrective, and we should get again a more impulsive move to the downside. There is no impulsive bullish move. Yeah, an impulsive wave should be, this is not impulsive, should be higher than the one that dumped previously. All right. So on a weekly basis, and let's go 3 days, exactly the same that I mentioned previously. If we get a pump here, I will try to short. I will short a potential AMD. Yeah, you might say that we can have a Wyckoff in progress. Sorry. Hiccups. You might say that we have a Wyckoff accumulation in progress, but there is a secret to Wyckoff that I want to tell you. Wyckoff needs to be in a proper demand or supply area. And let me tell you something about front-running golden pocket. From my experience, after more than 6 years of observing the market daily, so not, well, today should I look at the chart? No, today I make a pizza, or today I'm working as a, I don't know, taxi or whatever. 6 years, day in, day out analysis. When market is front-running the golden pocket level, something very nasty happens, because we get a lot of FOMO and a lot of front running. A lot of people will say, well, it will not go there anymore. And the market will start manipulating those emotions. We can have a really impulsive move, even to 82,000 or 85,000. And people will say, okay, that front run of the golden pocket, that was it. But the point is that most likely that will be a fake out, a manipulation to trap more people, and it will not hold anymore here. Market will not hold the golden pocket anymore, and it will go way more aggressively. So this is why it's not good for the price action to sit above a major point of interest, because a lot of people are FOMOing in here, and they are actually the ones creating the so-called support that we see in this moment in time. The sooner we get in the long reload zone in the OTE to create structure and start that Wyckoff accumulation, the better. Yeah, it needs to happen here. So you might see all the Wyckoffs possible on Twitter or media or whatever, but remember that you need a proper location for that, okay, in order to be a high time frame reversal. Now, what I see on a 3 days time frame, it's quite nasty. It's looking bad because you can see previous area, which was previous support, has now flipped as resistance. And you can see the incapacity of the price action to reclaim above an area which previously you can see it was support 2 times, and here it was resistance again in the past. We now reject it as support, as resistance. So the path to a high probability play would be to the downside until the price will find a high probability demand area, which would sit around here. Indeed, we have some demand also here. This is why we had that intermediate bounce. But this is not an area which I'm interested in, because if we put a fib, you already know me, I'm interested on setups that are above in a bearish case or below in a bullish case golden pocket. And this demand area on a 3 days coincides with all the liquidity sweep and the golden pocket. Hopefully it makes sense. Now let's go on a daily. Let's go on the daily time frame and see what do we have. Okay. So clear downtrend here, downtrend channel. We took so many trades. You saw previously. I'll show you again the trades. We took so many trades. We took a short here. We took this retest. Again, we shorted here. We took a long. I took a long SFP of this pivot low, a 2 to 1R, and it was really, really profitable. Really profitable play. So going back to what I would play now, would be a long here at 60,800. I would take a long, or I would take a short, maybe at around 78.6. Yeah, an attempt to hold this liquidity above, then we'll leave this high untapped. Something like this. Here. Or even the SFP and the deviation of the equal highs. And then I target golden pocket. Here the same, I target the golden pocket. And here I would try and attempt, so I think I'll try a classic shark setup with a stop loss, not shark, mountain man setup with a stop loss at 78.6, but that's for the people who want limit orders, because if you are a day trader and you find yourself in the markets on a daily basis, then I think you can put some alarms here. You put some alarms in this area, and when the price gets there, you zoom in, you look on a 5-15 minutes time frame, you look for some sort of trend line breakout, like for example here. Yeah, you look for a trend line breakout, and then you take the first fair value gap or the first W that you see. But that's for fast traders. Okay, 8 hours, or I was 12, I think. Okay, so that would be Bitcoin. I would even look here for this area. I know on 1 hour we have unfinished business around that area, so I would look for a potential play. This is why it's very important to be a reactive trader, meaning that you want to see how the market behaves on the level that you are pointing out. Because if you're just shooting setups at the market, there might be a high probability that the setups won't work. But if you have patience and you start observing what the price is doing at your level before you're shooting the setup, then your win rate will increase. So that's a big deal. So what I would do, and my recommendation would be, for like what I'm doing for these setups, is that I'm going with an alarm and I'm waiting for the structure on 61,000, 59.2, and 66,000. That's me. And the SFP automatically here, this is not a limit, because You want to see if the price is reclaiming below that point of interest. All right. I ranted too much. Now on a 4 hour, so those setups that I showed you are 8 hours to daily time frame. Now on a 4 hours and 1 hour, we can actually trade this little range. You can actually zoom in more and more and more. You can even trade 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes and stuff like that. So, but what I would do, I would keep it to one 4 hours because we have NFP week. It's a low probability trading environment. You don't want to put too much risk on the table. Actually, it's advised, and the big traders are actually not trading at all or halvening their risk. So you risk half of what you usually risk because it's, I repeat, a low probability environment and lots of manipulations, and price will not be that easy to trade. I took a stop loss here. I remember I took the stop loss and people were actually mad after we took so many trades that were performing. So I think I finished with Bitcoin even on a high time frame. Now let me see if I find an Ethereum high time frame chart that would yeah, there you go. This is the one. 1 month. Let's go on 2 weeks time frame. So indeed, I'm not going to jinx it and say that Ethereum is not looking good. Ethereum is looking all right because we found a potential base and it found support on the trend line, which I was looking at. Yeah. Okay, it found support, but now we need to speak about context and we need to speak about the fact that we have a range. How I know that we have a range? Because if we look at the 0.5 and if we look at how the swing failure rejected here at 4.8 thousand, that brings me to the point that Ethereum will most likely reverse from liquidity, not from trend line support, meaning that it will most likely seek liquidity like it did at the top in order to find a reversal. And that liquidity comes here, 1.3, and that liquidity also comes here and here. So most likely Ethereum will go for one of those points in order to find a potential reversal. In regarding to a trend line, we are not on the other side of the trend line, so price may still grind with lower lows, and it's actually still grinding with lower lows. I'm going to look at this one mainly, and here I'm going to look at this M top. It's cleaner, but what the heck is going on? There you go. So as you can see here previously, it took quite a lot in order to find the local bottom. So that makes me think that in the same time, it will take quite a lot of time for Ethereum to find a bottom in this area. I don't expect a V-shape reversal from an impulsive wave. I expect some more time of consolidation. Let's go on a lower time frame because yeah, it's obvious. I mean, we have exactly the same structure, which I was pointing out on Bitcoin. You can see big bearish displacement, bearish retest, dump. We have the same stuff, big bearish displacement. We are consolidating it and most likely it will dump back again. Let's go now on a lower time frame. Let's go 4 hours. Now, what I would trade on Ethereum. On Ethereum, let me show you, because some people ask me, well, what did you saw there at 1,500 that you want to see it there? We have an unretested area. That's a very important unretested point. Come on. So we have a 1 hour fair value gap here. in this liquidity point and an unretested pivot, like big 4 hours W, which wasn't retested. And usually market gives a retest of this area in a very, very, very high amount of times, all right? So I do think that this area will be retested. Remember, we are in a downtrend, therefore thinking about a deep retracement and the retest of that deep retracement, it's absolutely logical, all right? Because that's why so many people are losing money. In a downtrend, they are calling for bottoms every time. They called for a bottom here, now they're calling for a bottom here, they called for a bottom here. Makes absolutely no sense. Even if the market will find a bottom and it will make a double bottom pattern, you can see made a double bottom pattern here, pumped, and then retraced all the way back in the deep OT, in the deep long reload zone, and then pumped again. So don't be delusional. Don't make plans from which you will suffer financially or decisions. It's up to you. I'm just showing what I will trade. So from a trading perspective on Ethereum, I'll keep it quite simple. I'm going to short 78.6. I'll take a short limit order here. And also, I'm looking to do the same thing here at the lows. There you go. At 1,770, 77, 71, that area. So I'm looking for longs here. Hello, good morning. Hey Mauro. Well, we have 100 people. Do you guys enjoy it? Or not quite? I see some activity. By the way, please take 1 or 2 minutes if you really enjoy the show. Take 1-2 minutes from your time. What 1 minute? Actually, it's 10 seconds. Give a like, a retweet, and a comment. It helps a lot with the algo, guys. So getting back to this, Ethereum having an NFP week means I won't take more setups, but I will take less setups and higher quality, meaning I'll just let the price give me those really volatile moves and I will try to fade them, because in the middle here no one, and absolutely no one, can tell you if price will do this first or if price will do this first. Absolutely no one can tell you for sure with a high probability what the price will do. But once the price gets here at the highs, the probability for the price to reject, they will increase. So the probability to look for a short and actually deliver here, it will increase than just looking for a short here. You understand? The same stuff happens here. After a very impulsive dump, the probability for finding local support and bouncing from this area will increase. Same like with the hype setup, which I posted last week. Lots of people asked me, well, damn, how did you know that hype will dump from 77 to 50 bucks? How did you took those setups? How did you know? Simple. It's a range. Yeah, it's a range. Stop thinking about trending markets for a moment. Stop thinking about new all-time highs each day and trade what you have. It's a range. Therefore, there is a good probability for the first trend line rejection to occur. If that one is broken out, then we go for the 0.5 GAN level of the range. Simple. We hold the range lows, we go to mid-range and even range highs. We will see. I don't know. I have no idea. I'll play what market gives me. But we took the shorts. It was actually the best trades that I had in 2026. Hyperliquid gave the best trades that I had in 2026. It was so good. So good to trade it. So exactly the same I'm expecting on Ethereum. All right. the pivot low, you can see this is the pivot low, and this is the intermediate pivot low, which created another internal high. This is the internal pivot low, but the impulsive move started from here, sort of an AB equals CD. Yeah, and there's a lots of liquidity here at these lows. So either we bounce from this area, depending on what I see with SMT on Bitcoin and what I observe on Bitcoin. Usually when I'm taking a trade on both of them, I want to see also the location of Bitcoin. Because, for example, if I'm planning to long Ethereum there, okay, and Bitcoin is not in my point of interest at 60,800, then I'll try to avoid to take that Ethereum long, because it means that, let's say that Bitcoin is around here. It means that most likely we'll have another dump like this, and then I will take the setup that I want. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely approach this week with patience. NFP, if you go back and try to look at your log, trading log, and look at the HNFP week, you will see that it was so hard to trade, and the win rate is actually lower than what you would have on an average. It's actually lowering your profitability, and especially after we had such a good week of trading, like the last 2 weeks, which you can see the trades which we took last weeks. All right, let's make a little update on the shorts that I have. I have a short on Ondo, and this one I have to confess it was from a subscriber on Twitter. He told me, well, take a look at Ondo, look at how nicely it looks. How nicely it looks. It just swing failured. Yeah, it swing failured the previous week high. And we have so much liquidity. And I like the fact that they understood that the market is in a range 80% of the time and not in a trend. Yeah, and this kind of trades, they are insanely profitable if you know how to play them. And we took a deviation of the previous week high, and now I'm targeting the liquidity here. You can see the first liquidity point, I TP'd one here. I took some partials. Now I'm looking for this area at 0.35. But it's insanely profitable if you know how to trade them. Now ZEC, same stuff. I'm still short. Some people ask me, well, where would you add to your winning position? Yeah, I would say at 554, I would take another short. Yeah, I would take another short here. And I will play the range, as you can see. Yeah, quite simple. Sorry. AVE, I'm still short. We have a very impulsive move. This is a corrective wave, so most likely we'll have an AB equals CD. So this one will dump way lower. Yeah, I'm looking at Doge, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Yes, some people might put here, oh, look at it. It's looking good. It's a Wyckoff accumulation. But if you look back at my trades, the highest profitability came from the short side. I mean, look at the shorts. Yeah, look at the shorts. Look at the shorts, how they are delivering. So we're in a bear market. Price is making lower lows, and I'm trying to outsmart the fact that the market is making just lower lows and lower highs. Indeed, we might have some bullish divergence and so on. I actually took a setup, so don't get me wrong. I tried a long here, and I said close it, break even, because most likely we'll take the low again. And I don't like taking a trade and being the same trade for more than 3 weeks. I don't, and not delivering. Wait, 1 second, not delivering. Because if you take a short like hyper liquid and you see that it's giving you profits more and more, that's good. But having a trade at your entry for more than 2 weeks is not something that I like. And no, it's underperforming. It's not looking good. I'm okay. No, thank you. Um, Now, I really don't know. I wouldn't go on altcoins. I don't want to chart altcoins. It's not a time for altcoins, in my stupid opinion. You can say, well, I'm profitable with altcoins. You can be. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm profitable shorting them like you saw previously, and I'll keep shorting them because it's insanely profitable. Now for S&P, Paul also discussed about this level. Be careful here. It's a pretty good swing failure of the main pivot high, so it's not a bad area where you can actually look for quite a good probability and risk to reward short setup. We can have a bearish AMD here with an expansion. Yep. Okay. We can have a bearish AMD. Yeah. So anything can happen. Remind that anything can happen. Here, if you manage to take a nice short and let's say that it goes for this equal lows, you can actually frame what was that 5 to 1 risk to reward easily. Yeah, easily. There you go. 10 to 1 risk to reward even. I would only take the trade after it deviates on, let's say, 1 hour. Uh, so you guys enjoy the live? I'm glad if you enjoy the live. What I can tell you, well, bear market like this, it's one of the best environments in which you can learn how to trade. It's insanely profitable if you know how to do it, if you know how to short mainly. As I showed you, yeah, XPL it's on. I know a lot of people ask me about XPL. Yeah, I posted this long. I think if you look at the Tuesday live trading sessions, I have this long since June. Since June, I think I have this long. And I said that I'm waiting for a retest at this key pivot level. It was an inverse fair value gap on 15 minutes there, 550 minutes, a BPR, and I said that I'm taking a long there. Yeah, the long it's on, but it's 0. What? 0.2 R. I know some people, they care a lot about their win rate and they want to make it look like they're winning and they close a trade at 0.2 R or stuff like that. That's not trading. That's not how we do it. You let the trade deliver. If your analysis was correct, if my analysis was correct, I would expect at least a retest of this area, 0.1. Okay? Simple. So, recap, one setup, one short on Ondo. I still have 30% of all shorts. Ondo, ZEC, AVE, 3 shorts running nicely. You can see how nice the plan worked. We bought below 60 bucks. I said I'm selling 100 because it's a big psychological level. And be honest, after you make, what was that? So I did a 70%, almost 70% call on AVE. You should be delusional to expect, I don't know, to expect more than that. I mean, some hedge funds are looking at these amounts in 2 years, 3 years, and you manage to make it in one trade. Stop expecting too much from a setup. Learn how to pay the trader, make plans that will help you how to take partials and improve. Actually, I have a very good article on regarding how to take partials made on Twitter. You can see, for example, you had the big opportunity of taking partial here at the major breakdown. So, and it takes time to make a good plan. ADA. So let me finish. These 3 shorts on Bitcoin. I'm only having the short from the top. The other trades, I'll treat them as a day trades, meaning that I will close in and out fast, like this ones. This is what I will play now. I want to take anything that it's bumping here in the 64.080. And then I'm trying to long the SFP of the pivot lows for a quick 2 to 1 in and out. That's all. I'm not greedy. Trust me, 2 to 1, it's making wonders. Learn to think in 100 trades, batches, not in one trade, two trades, and stuff like that. Nothing on this one. We have the XPL long on, and we have the hyperliquid long on. So we have quite some setups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not bad. Now let's play with you guys. Let's see what you guys say. 1 month. Let me see where it is first. Well, no, I'm not buying ADA. I'm not looking at anything on ADA, and you should tell me why. Why should I buy something that will find resistance in the nearest proximity? I saw it on Twitter Shield. If you are here, I have I'm expecting you to be a bit smarter than that if you are here. And I'm expecting you to be above average and above the public mentality. Yeah, here it's actually one of the best points where you can short. You see any high risk to reward here? If you go on monthly and you expect ADA to go to $5, I don't want to give names. I almost said a name, but if you look like on shit like this and you say and you bait your followers into thinking that something like this will happen, okay, this is, in my opinion, this is bullshit. And I know a lot of people will buy into this. I was there 4 or 5. I was there in the GME and AMC mania. I was believing the same crap. I was the public. So if you believe something like this, go there. If you want to hear an opinion, an experienced opinion, and what I would do, then this is what I would do. Maybe I'm stupid. Yeah, I am. Are those influencers smarter than me? Yeah, they are. They are smarter than me. So yeah, I would actually take a short in that area. Let me put an alarm because I want to short the shit out of it. Okay. We speak about stocks now. Let's check it out. Not bad. Not bad, meaning that it's so down that it's easy for a short. If you know how I'm playing the stocks, then you know that I want them as low as possible in order to provide me with that high probability play of a fast sell half on a double bounce. Yeah, we are below 78.6, 88.6. Yeah, TA wise it has it, but I need to check the fundamentals because on the list that I'm giving, I'm always checking also the fundamentals like depth and things like that. Technical wise, easy. Unretested M top, here. I can easily see a sell half on a double. Okay, let's check Twitter if anyone has any any requests or stuff like that. I don't want to trap you into thinking that this week will deliver too much, guys. I need you to understand that it's a low probability week and Yeah, you can see also the people on Twitter, like the subscribers. S&P looks good for shorts. Yeah, it looks good. It really looks good. And not only that it looks, but the risk to reward, it's great. Yeah, that's what matters a lot for me. The risk to reward has to be there. Because if you tell me, let's long Litecoin, or I can't take it serious now. I should have said other coin. I'm sorry. I have nothing against. I just mentioned, like 1 year ago, I mentioned the fact that this week you can see what I have here. It's a zero point 0.5 GAN, and I said that the zero point 0.5 GAN at $28 will be retested with a high probability. In the same manner that I think that if this coin continues to do what it does, I don't know if that can be called performance, 340 can be retested from a straight technical point of view, but I don't know what they're doing behind the closed doors. Yeah, I should have taken some other example, not that one. I'm having fun. We are having a good time. Anyone else has any other questions? Um, so the point is, I don't want to frame too many setups because I know people will most likely look into, they will start to frame them and maybe take them. But it's not a proper environment. It's not the week where you want to do that. Also, I'm expecting this compression to finish. So I'm expecting a big move soon. If you look at the previous moves and how much, if you measure them, you will see they have quite about the same the period, quite about the same period. So I'm expecting this wave to finish in August, September. So we'll have a big dump or big pump. I have no idea. As I told you, yeah, impulsive wave, corrective wave. Put a fib, maybe, I don't know if GP in a big bearish bear market, price won't go more than golden pocket. We can actually reject from 38.2, which is actually the dump chaser zone, 38.6, 38.2. And you can see we can have a swing failure of the high, manipulation, and then it's exactly the area which I pointed out that I want to take a great short. Yeah, something like that. So I think we laid out all the plans. I think we are ready for what market will do next. Keep in mind, at the New York trading session will be live for everyone from Discord, all right? If you are not on Discord, I don't know, I can help you. You have the Subscord if you want to join Premium, where Paul is live trading. That's about less than one coffee a day. If your coffee it's $1. If you are a subscriber on my Twitter, you can actually apply via the link that I'm sending from time to time. You apply, you will have some questions, and you have to answer, and you can actually get in the Discord without anything else. But about 50% of the people will be rejected because it's a private community, and it stays like that. And by the way, I didn't want to speak too much about Capua. Each year I'm taking about 10 students, 10, 11, depending how much I see fit. Last session for Capua, I had really good traders, really good students. And now I'm looking at them, I'm trading with them on a daily basis. We have Aleman, we have Andrea, I have Kay. I have so many good traders that came out from the last Capua, like hedgehogs, at least 5 people, uh, like really good traders. really good plans and really good setups. And I don't have to say more about it. You can ask them. You can actually get in the Discord, put a message and ask, well, Aleman, Adela, or whoever to Capua, what can you tell me about it? And I'm sure that she or he will help you and give you um, like a very, very personal and objective kind of review. Even the critic, I think it's more than accepted. So yeah, if you want to join, DM on the Discord and let's see if you are fit for that, because not too many people are able or are fit for that. Also, if you want to join Capua 1, a lot of people are asking me, well, what's the difference? Well, Capua 2, it's about day trading. It's about what I'm doing on a daily basis. That's Capua 2. While Capua 1 teaches you the things that I won't teach you in the Capua 2, meaning like Fibonacci. I don't have time to teach you what is this on the left side. I don't have time to teach you that here we have lines, here we have channels and how to use them. Here we have Fibonacci, here we have the Gann box. I mean, these things are basic stuff and even a YouTube video can teach you. And I'm not going to waste the time, my time and your time teaching you what you can actually learn. How to use volume-based anchored VWAP. Well, put it at the top of the move. Yeah, and you will see pretty nice confluences. This is not rocket science. I'm going to teach you how to read context, how to frame setups, how to think in probabilities, things that you will not be able to learn from a video. You will stay 3 months or more with me and you will learn. Okay, I think I discussed about that too much. So those things, like journaling, for example, is really important. You cannot learn journaling from too many places, like how to journal effectively. And Capua 1 will teach you that. Paul will teach you how to journal, how to look at your journal and how to look at the statistics, how to improve where you make mistakes. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Like the amount of effort that he puts in reviewing your trades and taking you by the hand, it's enormous. All right, I think that would be it. In 4 hours from now, we start the New York session. By the way, for Capua 1, if you want to join, you have a discount. You have to DM Paul and say, well, Stefan said there's a discount and he will get you the discount. That being said, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you in 4 hours from now. In the live trading session, which will be public. See you later. Thank you very much for tuning in, and don't trust me or Paul when we say that. You can go on testimonials. You can ask the people that went for the Capua 1 and Capua 2. We don't do this all the time, only let's say 2 times a year, because we don't have the time required. But now, being a bear market, I think it's the best opportunity that you can have. And the value, I'm not going to push it on the value, but it's absolutely insane. You can ask the people. Go on the testimonials. So DM Paul, ask him for the discount, and enjoy learning. See you guys. I think he only had like 2-3 spots. Bye bye.